So the UFO story is quite interesting. You know, I believe in God, and I don't understand, never looked into UFOs, not, to be honest, not really interested in them. Hear about them obviously from time to time, and on this particular day, we were heading out to the hunting shack. It was regular day, launched the boat. We have about a 60-mile run in the boat, so it takes some time. This day it was relatively windy for the most part, so that 60 miles was kind of slow going. We were going straight into the wind, heading up the lake, and we had just got to up through the worst part of it. We kind of rounded a corner where the wind was a lot better, and as my boy and I were, you know, we're probably 5 miles from the hunting shack, and I looked over at him, and through the window I seen this weird thing in the sky following us, what I thought was following us. So I said to my boy, "What's that?" He looks at it, and we were both kind of perplexed, so I stopped the boat, put the boat in neutral, and as I did, whatever was in the sky stopped and was still. And I was going, that's kind of weird. It was taking my brain some time to process what was happening, and I turned the boat around and I went the other way, and it followed me the other way. And I stopped again, and I turned the boat around, and I was just sort of drifting there watching this. And there was a total of 3. There was one main orb type thing that you'll see in the footage, and it's terrible footage. It's off a cell phone. It was approximately 5 minutes before I even clued in to, hey, we should try to record this. There was a total of 3. There was the one you'll see in the video, and it kind of had 2 buddies that were smaller. And the 2 buddies that were smaller were flying in all different directions, very chaotically moving about, and they would end up going back to the one that you'll see in the video. At this point, I felt fairly vulnerable. I'm there with my son, by myself in the middle of nowhere, with this weird thing I can't identify hovering just above the tree line. So we got a little bit of video. We'll show that here right away. And at which point there was sort of a breaking point for me mentally where, you know what, I'm armed, I got guns on board, but what is that going to do? If they want to get us, they're going to get us, and you sort of accept that reality. And which I did. Once we had our fill of looking at it, and its 2 little buddies, I decided, well, we might as well carry on. So I did. As I carried on, it came with us. And ever so skillfully left the tree line, and on an angle you'll see in the video, just went straight up to the stars. And right up into the stars, and blended in with 3 stars that were shaped like a triangle, which I'll get here and post on where they actually ended up. It was an incredible experience, something I'll never forget. The most bizarre thing to ever happen to me out in the wilderness, and something my son and I'll never ever forget. And it was truly bizarre, and in the middle of nowhere. People have said, "Oh, drones." There's no drones. We're literally 100 miles from the nearest community. We're on a system that is massive. It's in north central BC, literally the middle of nowhere. So that's our UFO story. Maybe we'll get another opportunity to see one, maybe not, but we'll remember that one forever.